Well, we get back into the action. Virtus.pro, pretty dominant in map number 1, and that was not their map choice. That was Heroic's pick. Now we go over to Vertigo. Now, you mentioned Heroic are pretty proficient on it, but obviously Virtus.pro picked it for a reason. I think proficient on that map still is an anomaly because you don't really have a sample size of every single team yet. I think teams that think they're good have a sense of false confidence, unless maybe you're Astralis or maybe Liquid.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're spot on. I think Vertigo is still relatively new within the map pool, that we don't really know where to put it as a map. And I think, when I say that Heroic can play the map, that's true. But do they play it to a high level? Have Virtus.pro seen something they can just exploit throughout? And what is the adaptation going to be?
And that's the thing. You Heroic, Virtus.pro, take your pick in this argument, but you beat one or two teams on it, maybe teams that themselves are not that good.
Exactly.
But because you haven't seen yourselves and then anyone else play it, you go, we're pretty good at this map. But then you come across someone who is good at the map and they smoke you, and then you avoid the map for the next 6 months, and nothing develops.
Something
and
you tried
Vertigo's
before.
Been in the pool forever, and no one's. You get it. You get the idea. It's you say it's a new map still. It's really not. It's been around for a while. It's just
been
taken
updated a few times,
time.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, some for better, some for worse.
Sure.
I still think mid, when you go up mid stairs and then you wrap around by the elevator and come out by sort of where the dumpsters are. If you go right and then left, I think there still needs to be a connection point there.
Sure.
It's really good for rotations. It's okay for flanks, but it's hard to utilize. I still think there needs to be a faster way to hit the B site rather than just through the window there. I think then you could really get some splits.
I'd agree. I definitely agree. What we can conclude is that this knife round doesn't really mean as much as it potentially should be. I don't think you can say that Vertigo is a dedicated CT side of map or a dedicated T side of map. I think it changes all the time with the meta going on. Depends on how each teams are basically playing it. I think we've seen tendencies that you can, as a CT, you can shut down sometimes. You can shut down the T's approach to the game, but it's tough. As you said, I feel Vertigo is constantly changing right now. There hasn't been an update on the map itself, but the way you play it is constantly changing because you figure out new ways to
it's
deal
good
with
in
it.
some ways, as much as I'd like to see that change. It's good in some ways that there hasn't been as many changes as of late because teams can start to actually get stuck in and develop it to an extent. Vertical maps are very, very hard to design as it is. Rotations are very one-directional based on gravity. Nuke, a great example. Vertigo, you can certainly rotate to A, from A to B a little bit quicker. It's not an easy thing to get right, but it needs some time.
Sure is not. You can see Heroic. 2 guys with no armor. There's going to be a smoke and a Molotov on towards S-Attack. There's going to be a full grenade set on towards Snappy. They're going to explode towards this A bomb site. Cadian finds first blood. Game gets the refrag. Cadian with a second one as well. This one is already spinning out of control for Virtus.pro. It's all going to be up to James here and Sanji to see if they can defend this bomb site. Seems like Heroic slow down a little bit. They don't want to hesitate. Or they do want to hesitate, I guess. But a good hesitation. Making sure not to overextend themselves. Putting down the smoke, and that's a nice peek by James. Make that a 3 versus 3 now. He rotates in towards the bomb site as well. Not sure they are aware of that Heroic. They're constantly afraid that he's going to be over there somewhere. So the retake is much more plausible to happen. 3 versus 3, Matt. Vertigo, all yours.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Stowen will hold it off from the wooden wall. Tries to cover it out, but can't do so. Bomb still playing at the backside default. They're on it. They want to smoke down. Borup's not aware. Snappy's got to go aggressive. He can see the backpack showing through. And he will win out the round for Virtus.pro. That now gives them 3 pistols from 3 in this series. And a good start on the T side of Vertigo. Still likely to see more A challenge than over toward the B side. Certainly early in the rounds as well. A smoke that the CTs can get out very quickly to go to the bottom of B stairs. That makes it difficult to get inside. The odds, yeah, Virtus.pro in the favorite position given the first map. I can understand that, but also close because it is Vertigo and it's tough to be confident making a prediction on this map. Stowen with 3 before going down. That's a fast push from the CTs, but his job certainly done, and the round might be as well, as it is going to be James remaining. He tries to sneak out behind. I said, excuse me, that Virtus.pro won that pistol. It was Heroic. T side, I had it backwards. I had the team right that won it in my mind, but the wrong name of the team.
It's all right. I'm sure people...
They'll crucify me on the internet because that's what it's for.
It's all right.
The internet was invented
to crucify
for
you.
crucifixion.
Not only you?
For the world.
Oh. Okay. That's an interesting take on what the internet is today, but I guess you do have some sort of a point there.
I seldom do. This will be a kill on at least S-tag. Oh, he's...
I didn't see him.
Did he not see the shadow? I could have swore I saw the shadow.
Yeah.
Either way, I thought he was going to get a gun for it. It would have been just one of the SMGs. He won't even go that far, and it's an SMG kill, which is good money for Heroic to continue to build up.
Sure is. That's an interesting buy, though. I like that from James. Just pulling up the AWP, right? Doesn't have any armor behind it. Doesn't have any utility besides a smoke. Just going in glass cannon. He just wants that AWP in his hands, and he's well aware that when he's playing well, he can be the difference maker. So he's allowed to do so by Virtus.pro. First buy round coming in right here. There's still 2 Mac-10s in play. I get a little in the hands of Staven. We saw how effective he was with that just before, so not necessarily a bad thing at all. But I'm afraid we're going to see another relatively slow-paced game here in the beginning at least. Vertigo is a map where you can just wait out for the smokes. If that's what you want to. Buster, you can just smoke down this bomb site, and at this point, Heroic, you don't want to force that smoke, so we'll just have to sit back and wait for that to transpire and happen. There we go. Borup getting ahead of himself a bit. Gets taken down by Buster. Great opening. Makes this explosion into the bomb site a little less effective.
Buster through the smokes, aggressively looking for more than one. Kicker found the other from the window, but Stowen was able to dispose of the aggressive CT players. And in the meantime, Snappy was actually out toward Catwalk, got around behind Quad to find a kill and get a bomb plant, but that leaves him at default and nowhere to run from Kicker, who's got the headshot instead. He now poises ready for Stowen to arrive. He doesn't get the kill, but James does from a distance. We're 2-1 on the scoreboard. B-side plant and B-side approach early on. Not common, but it works to at least get the bomb down. Costly, though. They were already at the disadvantage before the bomb was planted.
Sure were. Great response coming in from Virtus.pro straight away as we hear these ninja sounds. Maybe you could do them better. Take that back. Anyway, nice try.
All right, Jacob. Hot damn, son.
Yeah. Don't call me son.
I'm getting cranky.
You
need to get some... Yeah, you are.
I'm not cranky. I'm happy. I'm super happy. I'm in London right now.
I'm cranky. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm cranky.
Oh. Well. Don't drag me down right there. We see another round. We see Cadian on the AWP. We see Heroic once again.
Isn't that a Beatles song? Don't drag me down? Pretty sure it is. Maybe it's Don't Bring Me Down.
It could be both.
Probably.
And in this case, I'd say both. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, a buy round from Heroic. As I was trying to allude to, we see the SGs, we see the AK-47s, we see Cadian with the AWP, still decent amount of utility. So Vertigo is a game of chicken sometimes. You just gotta wait out on each other, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Buster and Borup just waiting and waiting and waiting. Maybe they'll make a move, maybe they won't. We'll have to see. It's a good position for Buster though. If Borup decides to walk into his crosshair, a lot of map control gain. James is gonna follow up with some more right here. It's a slow-paced game once again, isn't it?
I'll get back to that. Snappy with one on Buster. But now the pace will pick up. James is at B. Ooh, okay, he did get that. I thought he missed it, but he hit Snappy, caught out Borup, misses the shot on Stowen, but finds Katie who had the bomb. Adren gets down through the smoke. S-Tag only got one back. He'll try and creep forward to get that bomb, but James still firing in that position. If you could see at home the body language that goes into some of the things we say while casting. Jacob asked me, it's a slow game, isn't it? And immediately his head dropped down in disappointment after watching Overpass previously. So that was a rhetorical question, and let you know exactly how Jacob felt at the same time.
Didn't I just say, don't bring me down?
Don't bring me down. Yeah, it's a Beatles song. I'm sure it's a Beatles song.
Oh. Anyway, you're not wrong. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed. Because I think especially the Overpass game had potential for more. And it was just sad to see two teams who couldn't play the T-side, right? It was too one-dimensional in that sense. And I just don't hope we get to see the same thing transpire here in Vertigo. I'm not gonna, not gonna say that is what's gonna happen now. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, we've seen a very slow approach coming out from Heroic, and that's fine, that's fair as long as you're winning, but hasn't been the case the past 2 rounds. This time around, they cannot afford to buy. S-Attack is the only guy with an AK-47. The rest of the team is saving. No armor. There's a few upgraded pistols and a few grenades, but that's it. So this is where, if you're Virtus.pro, you hope to establish dominance. You hope to establish a bank. You hope to win out the round relatively clean. And by then, you're looking at a scoreline that says you're leading 3-2, decent amount of economy. And I think you'd be happy for that start to Vertigo. I still think Vertigo can be a T-sided map if you play it properly. Trying to mask the flashes being thrown by his teammate.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's good timing, but I mean, yeah, okay. It's in the air and it's going to go off either way. So what? I don't know what masking the noise. It's not like it bounced off anything at that point.
Maybe it's just a tick or something.
A Dren. Smoke to play off of, and he does so perfectly. Another flash thrown as well, and he knows they're towards scaffolding. Sanji waiting. Oh, the exact moment that the head showed up, he was waiting to aim for is when his teammate walked in front of him, but no mistake made. 3 in a row now, Virtus.pro. And starting to see why they picked the map. It is still, in my opinion, pretty CT-sided. It's getting more and more even, I think, as we, I guess, develop the map. I think that's the case with most maps, right? They start very defensively because you got to learn the timings, intricacies. Yeah, what would be the point of masking? I mean, if it's bouncing off something, sure, but it wasn't. It's going to detonate in the sky either way, right? Am I missing something there?
Yeah, I'm not sure I got it either. I'm not sure I got it either.
Maybe if someone knows some crazy advanced meta that we don't, tweet us.
Could be. You're always welcome to tweet.
Unless they're, the only thing I can think of is if they're counting the amount of flashes. Oh, good shot, James. They're counting the amount of flashes thrown. So if he shoots and they don't hear it and they're not blind, they won't think that one was thrown and they're trying to bait you to. That's the only thing I can think of.
Why would you throw it?
It seems unlikely.
Yeah. I don't know. What I do know is that Heroic definitely didn't get the start to this round they wanted. Snappy went down, so did Burp. Now they find themselves in a 3 versus 5 position, and Kickert, he's well aware that it could be a guy down here. S-Attack, he's just hoping for that mistake. He's just hoping that he's going to overextend just a tiny bit, but with hope comes disappointment sometimes. I think that's exactly what we're not going to see here. S-Attack, he takes down Kickert. Tried to set it up for myself, didn't really work out.
Yeah, don't associate your dating life with Counter-Strike. It's not always the same.
Oh, and you'll be gone, huh? The war's on.
War? What war?
I'll show you what war's like.
Real bloody war. Right here on this stage. Don't know why I put like a COD 4 British accent on the guy from Croatia, but I've done that. Gun swap. James already has Stowen. They'll get more aggressive with the AKs in hand on the CT side. They've got the advantage. Bomb is ticking, however, and S-Tag needs to be removed from his position if they want any chance at defusing it at all, because he's got a far too perfect lineup toward it. They'll bait the shots. He'll get the second, but Adren elevates himself above. Katie needs to keep track of his position versus the bomb. They'll bait out his shots. They know where he is on the reload. That gives them time to get on with the kit. And he's off the angle, but he finds it in the end. They'll try and follow it up immediately. He was firing before they touched it, and I don't think he's aware they did get on. He still manages to find the kill. I thought he masked the diffuse noise from himself with the second spray.
Yeah, that was so close for Virtus.pro to go through right there. Somehow Heroic were able to turn it around. It was a 3 versus 5. S-Attack got that kill with the Deagle on towards Kickout, I believe it was. There was no trade fact potential, but look at the money from Heroic as well. They are not in a good spot right now. 3 Mac-10s and a Galil after winning a round. So that's quite the story, doesn't it? It's going to be a fast pace towards B bomb side right here. Oh, at least for Borb it is. Maybe they're slowing it up, but with 3 Mac-10s, you got to do something explosive. Oh. Well, that works too. James looking for the refrag with the AWP, and he finds it, connects it, puts down a smoke as well. He's going to be in a tough position if they decide to go through this one. They don't have the audacity to do so, which means he can get away, not taking any damage at all. the meantime, he got Sanji installed in that corner as well, and may not look like a lot, but that's map control and that's awareness of where this Heroic lineup is going to head. I don't think they expect him to be up there, so could be a good position for Sanji. James is there to back him up, and again we see a slow round coming out of Heroic, despite having 3 magnets. Sanji overextending himself, getting taken down by S-Tech. And as soon as I was saying it was starting to look good for Virtus.pro, it's starting to fall apart a bit here.
Kickert finds Stowen. Leg shot. And followed. The nade takes down the rest. And just like that, in succession, Kickert and James close the round. 4 for Virtus.pro, back and forth over the last 2 rounds. But it is still a slower pace than I'm used to seeing on Vertigo. This is normally the fast map. Counter-Strike's Karrakin.
It can be. Sometimes it depends on how the teams approach it. I feel it's either you are aggressive in the beginning of the round, or the CTs will force you just to wait out on the smokes, because you don't want to run through a smoke when you enter the B bomb site. You don't want to run through the smokes when you enter A bomb site, but if the smokes hasn't been deployed, you are allowed to be fast, and that's exactly what I'm going to see here towards the middle. Some more aggression coming out of Heroic. The gate, mid control. They only have Glocks. A single P250, I believe, in Cadian, but no grenades at this point, and virtually no hope of winning the round at all. Buster with another easy frag on towards Burrup. James hopefully can farm some more kills as well. He's sitting at 150 ADR right now. He's been having one hell of a game.
Sanji, Kickert, and Buster making no mistake. Very quick to find the kills, to leave S-Tag in a 1-on-5. S-Tag's gonna sneak toward the A site, but Adren was already up on top. He was able to find the kill from inside of the site. Get a pause. I think Heroic's gonna have to consider what the options are. Certainly in a position to buy, but the economy is not much more established beyond that.
Surely's not. Seeing the odds, they're swaying more and more towards Virtus.pro. I dare say they are heavy favorites now to win this second map, at least according to the odds.
Yeah, and they've got live odds on that site, so that will continue to change throughout, and you can see why it has 5-3. Last 5 of 6 rounds. Maths. Going in the favor of Virtus.pro, so that makes perfect sense.
It sure does. Question is, can they keep the foot on the gas pedal, or they're gonna slow down now? West for Heroic, they had a timeout to discuss what is it we want to do, what is it we can do in order to change the outcome of this round. I've said it countless of times, and I don't want to say it anymore, but change up the pace. For the love of God, do something you haven't been doing so far. It wasn't the case on Overpass. It's been so lackluster the T side so far in this series. Neither team, for that matter, have done it. Now it seems like Heroic are going to struggle one more time with their Vertigo T side.
Trent's got about, okay, I was going to say he's got about 6 seconds tops to get out of there.
Yeah, he got it. He got it. James in a good spot, though, to find a kill. And it's just another round that goes by slowly. Utility being used to gain map control. You see Heroic, they're moving further and further ahead, but left with not too much utility. A few smokes and a few molotovs, that's about it. That's enough for an AGO.
Kicker that wants to slide out. Clever smoke, actually. I like the way that's thrown. Locks itself in by the support rail of the crane. Lets them one side peek. We saw Dren take advantage of that previously. James got to be careful because they have scaffolding to work from, and an aggressive peek from Kicker to respond to that. Knowing that James was soon going to be challenged, he goes down to the hands of Cadian, and James got to watch both sides. Molotov to cover one. Smoke will follow that up, lets him go back to the top of the ramp, but can't find the shot on the second try. Borup goes down. And Dren managed to get one of the intern, so it leaves us in that box position an awful lot. It leaves us in a 3-on-3, but again, the bomb is planted for Heroic. They've been successful in holding off this default plant on A, and this time they're going to leave Stowen on top of the bomb rather than just relying on the perimeter of the site. Is there going to be a flank or just a save? They're already backing off. Adren down. It doesn't look like they were. I thought one player was going to run toward the elevators at the first glance at the map, but not enough time for that. 10 seconds. This is over. 5-4.
Heroic with a response.
I do think that elevator is an excellent flank rotation position. If it's
Yeah.
it's tough to read because you got to get mid, and oftentimes you got to rotate back through CT. But I think you could definitely be an aggressive B player and take advantage of that elevator.
Sure.
I suppose the biggest limiting factor on the elevator is just the fact that mid itself is almost a dead zone without that quick rotation point to the B site.
I missed that door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Connection
I
between the
agree.
two sides. I really do, but overall, I think Vertigo is a map that we have to take into consideration how much flack it got in the beginning, right? It was not really a map that people wanted to play, but as it's been updated, it's gotten better and better. And here we are, we see Heroic change up the pace, going for fast A control. I like that, but as I said, if you face a lot of grenades, you have to wait for it. That's exactly what they're doing here. Borup, though, wants to push through that smoke. See if he can catch someone or something on the other side of it. Not able to. Stalin being aggressive as well. Or actually punishing Buster for being aggressive. It's another great opening by Heroic. S-Attack finds Sanki through the wall as well, and it's starting to look like something good could be going for Heroic right here. Kicker down to 15 HP as well, and in a round where nothing has really happened, it's still, you know, a 5 versus 3. Effectively almost a 5 versus 2.
Adrian still holding out the back of the site. This time he's in the corner by drywall. He loves that box spot. Double smoke. He knows it's going to be a wall. Wants to go through it. Kicker, meanwhile, is found by Stowen, and that's going to give a ton of options as he's already on the flank. This will be a pinch toward the A site. B lurk from the T's. May not be anyone left to kill by the time he arrives, so instead he turns around to hold off and see if anyone else is going to rotate that direction. It's just Jame remaining. Typically, we know what that means. This map, however, a bit tough, bit more difficult, bit tougher. Where's he going to try and hide?
Why are you saying that? What does that mean? What does typical happen when he's alone?
Jesus saved for our sins. Sorry, no, it's see, I already messed it up. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah.
Someone in chat will do that one for me. Do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah.
It was Jesus died for our sins so that James could save our skins.
Ah. You know what you initiated now in the Twitch chat, right? You know what you've done?
I probably have, yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, tell me more.
Nah. Nah. Not much more to be said, to be quite frank with you. Virtus.pro, they were looking good. As you said, they won 4 out of 5 rounds after losing the pistol in the following buy round. But ever since Heroic, they've been able to respond 2 rounds in a row, and now it's them who should be feeling comfortable, have all the money in the world to work with, have all the utility in the world to work with, all the guns they could ask for. And they're most likely going to go up against a team with just a bunch of sausage pistols. And maybe an occasional P250. Maybe. Or a Deagle.
A Degal.
3 Deagles maybe. Who knows? Still going to be a USB in there. That's what I'm trying to say. Still going to be Heroic that should be able to convert this round. And we talked about it, you know, is Vertigo a T-side, CT-side map? Not too sure as of right now, so we can't really make too many conclusions. Fact of the matter is the scoreline is 5-5, and I think that's close. As close as it gets, actually.
It's a clever angle underneath to get out on the railing, and you can spot the catwalk. Spam through it, but it does mean that you're limited. If no one's there, you've not put yourself in a position to be a part of the take. But they're looking for picks, Heroic. They've already found 2. As Tag will cover off the ramp with a Molotov and start to work in that direction with the Krieg. Heroic looking to take back the lead in this game. Wonder what the odds will say. They'll be switching evidently on the gg.bet site. They're not scared of making noise at this point. They're confident to take a fight. Kadian's going to set for a smoke just to be safe at this point. Bounced 2 of them in. The counter smoke has gone out again toward the crane. And Dren's able to get 1. He's kept his head low. Bomb was dropped. Kickert's found another. We're not cleanly into this just yet, but I think Snappy might have done enough as he sneaks out from Scaff. Buster silently elevates himself onto the red box, but doesn't go any higher. Could have potentially gone very aggressive and over top of the smoke, but it would have been a one-trick pony, I imagine. Kill and then dead, if anything, if even that.
I think you're right. I think you're spot on.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, man. Goes down to S-Attack. And Heroic regains the lead. They were up 2-0 ever since they gave it up, and now, for the first time, ever since, once again in the lead, 6-5. And as I said, they have all the money in the world, all the utility in the world to work with. They can afford losing this round and still buy up in the next one, whereas for Virtus.pro, pressure starts to amount. This buy is somewhat strong, yeah, but look at the lack of utility. Sanji with just a smoke, Buster with just a flash. I'd say you have to be aggressive in this round. You can't really sit back and wait. It'll be too easy, and I think that's exactly what they're doing right here. Sanji in an up-front position in middle. Waiting for someone to walk into his crosshair. Kaden, he's ready and waiting for it. Not able to connect, though. A bit of a missed opportunity for the Danish AWP player. There we go. James finding the aggressive peek on towards Staven. As said, not normally a guy that you think of as an aggressive AWP player, but he can do it occasionally, and this was a great peek by him. Great opening for Virtus.pro and force Heroic to readjust their plan. They're heading towards the A-bomb side now, where Kickert will wait for them.
Dren with the smoke to go deep to scaffolding. A flash Kickert in to make sure they haven't already gone up beyond that as well, but spraying in as the smoke, I think, bounced more than they expected and wasn't quite fully present. Nearly exposed Kickert, who's gone aggressive, and he's going to look for it to fade. His teammate Sanji's already found Katie, and so he's waiting to see what else will present itself from this position, and S-Tag will check that naturally. He's going to have to. He's gone, in fact. Buster's already got the kill cleanly, and Adren follows it up. All 5 stay alive, nearly a team ace. Kickert not quite with 1, but Adren gets the scraps, and it's tied again on 6s.
Yeah, that was a beautiful hold by Virtus.pro. Got the opening. You saw James be progressive. You saw him be aggressive. Take matters into his own hands and get that kill on towards Staven, putting on the pressure on Heroic, forcing them to walk in towards the A-bomb side where they were all waiting for them. So good stuff to see from Virtus.pro right here. That smoke right there, that's going to cover off the ramp, as you can see. It's going to deny them the control over that. So it's good to see Virtus.pro. They're looking much more together as a unit on the map of Vertigo than we've seen so far. I feel Overpass was a great showing, but it was more down to the individuals. See Kickert here again going for the peek against Kadian. He's not able to win that duel, and all of a sudden Heroic find themselves in a 3 versus 5 situation. The T-sides today have been a little bit lackluster.
Buster. Hey, you're right about the T-sides. At least this game's 6-6 and a little more back and forth than streaky. But Buster's going to get aggressive onto the stairs, finds a kill. Stowen with no information in a 1-5 has Buster getting more and more aggressive, so able to sneak down toward the elevator position. Gives Virtus.pro back the lead. 15 kills for James, leads the way.
That's the scary prospect right there. Him playing well together with Adrian being the 2 top fraggers for Virtus.pro right now. That's a scary prospect. We know that they probably have the highest skill ceiling for the lineup of Virtus.pro, so if they can keep that up, then it's starting to look good here. Maybe Virtus.pro could surprise all of us and take this series 2-0. Heroic, they're going to explode in towards this A-bomb side. That's us. Look at that nade. It did what? 300 damage or something? Almost. Should clean it up easily for Adrian. Getting 1, getting 2 together with Kickert. Oh, that's a nice shot by Kadian. but it's cosmetic. Ain't gonna give them the round. Ain't gonna give Tech anything to work with, and here we are, 8-6. First half that has been a bit back and forth, you know, not like we saw in Overpass where there was a lot of streaks going on. It's been winning 2 rounds in a row, then losing 3 rounds. Winning 2 rounds, losing 3 rounds, back and forth. End of the day, Virtus.pro are gonna end up winning this half. Question is by how much? 9-6 or 8-7 is on the cards, and I'd say a 9-6 half on the CT side of Vertigo. That's a strong CT side. That's a very strong CT side.
James? Okay.
Yeah, well.
This is, oh dear. Yeah, you don't fire, I mean, you were flashed, I guess. You don't fire blindly and hope that no one's going to re-peek that position. I love the ambition. I don't know that I like the execution. A rifle in that position would be quite remarkable that early on, mind you, because you could be a little more aggressive and get away with the odds. If I see that play work, I'll be the first to completely go back on all that, praise the hell out of it, and say it was the best play I've ever seen. But I'll also criticize it when it does. You know, I give the people what they want.
Do you give the people what they want? Yeah.
Kicker snappy. In that order, he goes down, and Dren now sits on the site where he has for most of this game. And a bomb planted as well at defaults. Unfortunately, they're just not holding the ramp well enough, and that's giving Heroic time and time again the access to plant. It could be an 8-7 half. It should be, as Kickert's left in a 1-on-3. Make it 2. He does find Katie. He was low enough on HP to begin with. Taps the bomb. That'll have to force a reaction. Smoke's gone, though. It doesn't have to force anything, because the smoke was already long in its life, and we do get 8-7. Heroic, decent attempt on the T side. Not their map choice, and as you said, T side's been the problem, so this is a good scoreline.
Yeah, it should be. It should be, but I don't really know what to say anymore. It's like you said it yourself coming into this game, we don't really know what's going on. With Vertigo, it's still a relatively new map, so 8-7, I guess that's a close half. Have to see how that's going to pan out now in the second half. We saw James play well, we saw Adrian have impact, but we need to see more of that when they now turn over to the T side.
Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, 7 rounds Vertigo is interesting enough. And look at the odds changing again. We're down to 2.6, so it's getting closer and closer. Virtus.pro still the favorites. Have been more successful in the pistols. They won both in the first map. I wrongly said they won the first on this, so if Heroic win this one, they'll leap of fate. But James already got a bomb plant down. Smoke's deep. From heaven, they try and fire over the drywall. Very aggressive fight down toward the bridge as the CTs even try and go for a flank. James aware of that. He'll take battle back in that direction. Even if that holds the CT away from the bomb for longer, that's good enough for his teammates. They just have to cover the position of the plant. It's in the corner as well. It's not at default, which gives them more of an angle to work with from the ramp, but it's Buster left in a 1-on-2. He's got the first kill. There's no kit. He knows he's got the time to work with. Warp's trying to spin. Oh, he's doing it successfully. 3 seconds. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, my. Oh, my
God. What is going on? What was that?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, dear.
I love how he even slowed down the last shot, and even he was probably thinking, like, yep, this is happening. That's unbelievable.
That gotta be one of the most frustrating ways to lose a pistol round that I've ever seen. What is that?
Look at it.
We had 10 bullets. 10 bullets.
He had 10 bullets in 10 seconds. You could have ran closer and knifed him at that point.
But it felt like he was going for the headshot, right? He just wanted to connect that
just
one
hit the body
bullet.
shot. Just fire at the hip.
That would have been enough. All right, then. Virtus.pro.
That's one for the ages.
Making us all suffer a bit, I guess. That was not nice to watch. But anyway, Heroic won the pistol again. Won both pistols in this game so far.
Let's not talk about the mission. How about Borup? That's some beautiful dancing. I want to after party with him.
Yeah, I'm sure you would, Matt.
Flailing that long hair around as he spins. Cadian will self-extinguish the flames. Gives away position, but will hold the corner. Behind the sandbags. That's both pistols now to Heroic in a very unlikely scenario.
Look at the buy, though, coming out from Virtus.pro. AK-47, SG, Galil, and SG going up against a FAMAS, 2 MP9s, and another FAMAS. Almost feels like it was a stronger buy from Virtus.pro. They came out on top of that one. It's crazy how the economy works in Counter-Strike these days. Nice cheeky little boost coming in. Buster up on the reeling. He hasn't been spotted out. This is beautiful, though. I don't think Borup has any idea this could come at him. And there we go. That's going to be an easy kill. That's going to be the B bomb site gifted up. Buster, he's going to continue in here, hoping to find another one. Slows down a bit. Adrian finds Stavin, and Heroic will have to retake now.
Aztec slides underneath the aim of the AK. That's got the kill back on Buster at least. So Virtus.pro trying to make amends for the first round of the half. Adren's being very cautious about re-peeking. Interesting boost. They're going to go for the window, which could yield a flank, but they actually want to hold position because they know that they've got to get aggressive. And when the CTs do, they want an off angle to cover it, but no one's looking. Do they not hear the pistol? Kicker does get the kill, but that's going to let the defuse be a possibility. S-Tag has to get off it. There's less than 4 seconds. It's over. Virtus.pro will at least pull this one back. But again, it's not looking clean at all. These games and rounds, both of them today, have been very odd.
They sure have. It's been a bit clumsy. That one right here as well. It's a nice little boost, though. Kicker up in that position, getting 2 kills. Kind of saved them the round. But again, as you said, nobody survived, so the money is going to be in shambles for both teams. Question is, and that's, I guess, why we're seeing a timeout as well. If you're Heroic, do you want to buy up? Do you want to invest behind that AK-47, knowing that the buy on the Virtus.pro side is going to be decent, but not better than just decent? Or are you going to play conservative and just save and be able to buy the next round? Well, in Denmark, we used to be conservative back in the days. Not anymore, though. Seems
no?
Like, no.
Things changing?
Yeah, the conservative party we have in Denmark have never been worse off, I think. So,
really?
Yeah.
When was the last election?
Was that half a year ago?
Oh, and they got blown out, did they?
Yeah, but they did that the past election as well, and the one before that. So it's been a few years, you know. Now,
Gotcha.
where we haven't really backed them up.
That's
but,
nice. Don't you guys have like the youngest prime minister? Certainly the youngest female prime minister ever, but isn't
Probably,
the
yeah, probably.
youngest prime minister currently sitting?
Good old mid.
Perhaps ever, at least that I can name, but I don't. I could be way off on that. I don't have any idea. All the prime ministers of every country in the world.
It'd be weird if you had.
Yeah, that would be impressive, though.
What is impressive is that we're seeing Virtus.pro entering this bomb site without taking a single, or giving a single point of damage to anyone, getting the bomb down as well. That's going to be a 5 versus 5 retake. That double grenade right there towards Adrian, that's nice, but didn't result in a kill, and I think that could be what's calling the save right here as well for Heroic. Are they going to go for the retake? Seems like they are. Nade smokes are flying in, and you don't often see a 5 versus 5 retake, but we are going to witness that right here, right now. It's not going to work out, though. Buster getting a nice double kill, shutting down Borup and S-Tag, and that's going to be it. Not much Stavin and Snappy can do with just pistols against 4 players alive from Virtus.pro. So this investment coming in, this gamble from Heroic didn't pay off. That's going to put additional pressure on towards the Danish squad now.
Yeah, absolutely. VP take a second round. 3 consecutive bomb plants.
Let's not forget that Heroic also did lose the first map, and if they were to lose this one, they will be going down to the lower bracket.
That's absolutely true. Yep, and we've already seen that happen in a 2-0 fashion this morning. Yeah, Ents versus OG. OG looked excellent in the second map. First one was a bit odd, but they were able to pull back 3 map points against them and get to overtime. And we've already touched on it, but Alexi B, that's the first time he's played against Ents since leaving that team some months ago, so no doubt he'll be very pleased with that. As Adren spots 2 CTs getting aggressive toward the elevator position. They're actually elected to, I believe, put Stowen down the ladders, so there could be a fast flank here for the CTs. Doesn't appear they actually have. It looked like on the mini-map when we jumped away that they would.
Kicker could find himself in a fun spot right here. Almost got caught off guard. Actually, he is getting caught off guard.
And I think Adren called that. So Kicker actually went back to look for the ladder position, the elevator position that I mentioned, and they didn't go, but they were uncertain, and Kicker got cut off by an aggressive push instead toward the B stairs. That could have worked super well for Heroic.
Look at that, though. Kicker down to 30 HP. James went down by himself, and all of a sudden there's a chance right here for Heroic to pull this one off.
Decent.
Good Molotov.
Yeah, exactly. Very well timed. Stowen was wanting to push through. Smoke mid-sight. Stowen still trying to catch out the cross. Adren, he'll cover as they go for the plant. The AK in hand. Buster's got S a tag, and good thing because, as you mentioned already, Jaime and Kicker are so low. Buster takes out Borup. It's just Cadian left, and this round should be Virtus.pro's for the win to go 11-8.
Got a bit too close for my taste, but as long as you survive, that's fine. You bring in the guns, you bring in the armor, you bring in a little bit of utility you got left, and you're building up an economy, and that's important at this point in the game. You can allow yourself to play with no pressure in terms of knowing that if you were to lose a round, you can still buy up the next round, you can still keep on the pressure and ride off the momentum. So good for Virtus.pro. Cadian, he's trying to see if he can find a kill here. Does connect one. And should have connected a second. Didn't work out with the deagle though. And as you said, 11-8 now for Virtus.pro. Starting to look good. Starting to look real good.
So we'll see if they can close it out. Again, Virtus.pro. Leads have been their enemy at times. No issues in map 1. Jaime with the AWP, going to be first to arrive at the ramp. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be. He'll hold the angle smartly so. Deep smoke, not uncommon for the CTs. Didn't see it as much from Virtus.pro themselves, but what a response to it. They know the deep smoke is there. The CTs want to hold an angle, and they boost Jaime. He finds Snappy immediately when he gets up above. Great read.
That was a nice executed peek, yeah. Surely Jaime again finding impact. We saw it on the CT side, him being more aggressive than we used to, I feel.
I prefer this spot where Buster is to peek that catwalk.
Yeah, but look at this. They're going to boost up now, and Borup, he's not going to spot him.
That's actually pretty sick, too. I was going to say you can jump back to the stairs faster, but the boost, you're right. Borup has no idea. And he's jumping around, which means he's making a ton of noise. He's dead. Okay, he is dead. I was going to say Buster's got to hit the shot first. I thought he was going to whiff on that, but pretty clever play. Stowen now stuck out in the window. Flashes direction, jumps up, misses because he was looked away, or had looked away. And he won't get the element of surprise. Quick flash instead. S-Tag on the flank could actually be the difference maker. Has to be very aware of Adren on the back stairs. He is, but Adren ready for that peek. Knew his exact role, given that the other two players were on the site. And he could still see the window. That should be the end of the round. Stowen and Cadian are going to back away. So Virtus.pro will find 12-8. And continue to be unbeaten on this T side.
Really got to appreciate the way they're winning this round. It all started out by Jaime with a nice boost, getting that AWP pick. You know, that's well played. That's team coordination. That's knowing exactly what you want to do, executing and getting the result you want. Then that boost up towards Rafted. So Borup had no idea. It's the second time we see this in the game, and it seems like Borup haven't really understood why. Maybe he thought the first time around, oh, it was just bad timing. But when he's jumping like that on the bomb side, there's no way he's ever going to see them boost up. And it worked now twice for Virtus.pro, so they won a round here, a buy round, by just being smarter than Heroic. That's something I can appreciate a lot. So good for Virtus.pro. Unfortunately for Heroic, in another round where obviously 2 saved guns, but that's it. Pistols and armor. That's all they can afford, so it'll have to be Staven and Cadian, most likely with the rifles, that has to do the dirty work. See if they can get some damage done. But we've seen so far today, not only in this game, but in all the games today, that the anti-ecos hasn't really been that strong, right? It seems like the teams are not really respecting it enough, or not at the level where they can just punish it every time. There's always a chance in Counter-Strike Global Offensive that you can win that odd round out. Buster with the opening towards Cadian. Spots the second one, not able to get it though.
It's a risky jump in that situation. It looked like he overstepped the mark. He nearly did that time too. Chasing down Borup, who eventually turns around and puts him in his place. Adren with so many smokes around him as he has had the whole game. I don't think he's been able to see further than the tip of his gun for most of the affair. Set smoke for Jaime. That'll cover entrance. Actually, excuse me, that goes much further than I thought it does. It goes to cover the cross at the AC, but as we can tell, S-Tag, he's above it, just barely did not have the vision And they'll hear the plant. He knows that he's closer now. He's trying to creep forward without dropping down to find the first, but Adren takes out the man boosting him, and he falls to the floor without a second kill. He knows that Adren's somewhere on the catwalk, plays on the railing, his body will fall to the ground. But the round will fall to Heroic, and that is their second of the second half, the first being that very odd defuse from Borup that somehow worked.
Yeah, I'm glad I mentioned it, right? Because we see these force buys, they're being so effective today. I think the teams playing against them just haven't really realized what it takes to win them. Again, we see Virtus.pro, they're spread out all over the map. They go one by one. They're taking duels that doesn't necessarily have to be taken. Instead of just staying together, always have to trade for potential potent for you. They opt to go for the individual plays, and this time around they got punished for it. So today I've been very disappointed with the level of Counter-Strike, if I gotta be completely honest with you, Matt. It's been fun, it's been exciting, back and forth, you know. That's always good to see, but the level of Counter-Strike hasn't been up there.
It's been sloppy.
It has been very sloppy.
And I've seen quite a few plays that can certainly point holes out, and if I can, then I'm sure you or any other analyst could easily rip them apart. So there's some work to be done. Coming off the break, there's always a bit of rust.
Sure. That's fair enough, right? It's been to a level today where it's been a little bit too much. Too much of the good stuff.
Buster still waiting for a chance to look at the B stairs, but the CT's unrelenting in the smoke positioning so far. That's a very easy spot to get a quick smoke into, but they even follow it up for good measure, and they'll put Stowen back toward mid. S-Tag's already there on the box as well in the corner. It's a pretty aggressive setup toward mid, all things considered. It's probably the least utilized spot on the map currently. Good shot from Buster. They're really liking these B angles, aren't they? Molotovs and an aid to the site. It doesn't look like action will be taken, though. Jay, meanwhile, is checking out the A ramp. No one aggressive up towards Sandbags to do anything about his positioning. He'll smoke himself in. KDM will hear that, but he's back at lobby and wants to get it off shot toward the site before he has to react to the fact that the bomb is, at this point, surely inevitably going down.
Yeah, ready with the grenades. Look at that. The bomb is going to go down here.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
5 seconds. They need to get on the plant. 4 seconds when they started. I think Sanji's done just enough. 1 second left on the clock. They somehow get it in on the ground. It's not in the best position, though, because they were desperate just to pick it up and plant it. So James going to have to be aggressive on the AWP. That smoke's going to allow them to start the defuse immediately. No one off towards scaffolding that can counter the peak. As Kickert starts to work back in, they've got to find counter kills. Sanji's already held off and thwarted, and KDA gets aggressive to confirm. Defuse is done at this point in time. I don't think they can possibly get back to it, and it'll go through. Heroic's going to take a 10th round. So ultimately, yes, the bomb was planted, but the first kill against it, you pointed it out, the nades, that's what stops the round, because if that gets planted default, the post plant is far stronger. You
saw it as soon as KDM was smoked off. He pulled out his grenade. His teammate next to him pulled out a grenade. It's something they've been planning, obviously, that they want to save the hand grenades for a potential retake on towards the A bomb side. And as soon as they heard that bomb being planted, 3 nades were just thrown on top of him, and he died, and he died badly. And as you said, they got the bomb down, but not in the position they wanted. Also lost a man in that sense. So around Virtus.pro probably should have won. Didn't go their way, and now we see Heroic fight back. We're down 12 and 8, 1-2 in a round now, to 12 and 10 now. You can also see the money is taking a big hit for Virtus.pro. If they were to lose this round, they will most likely not be able to buy up the next one, forcing them into an eco, and that's Heroic's way back into this game. This round right here could be vital for them. Another slow approach, though, coming in from Virtus.pro. We've seen that a lot going on today, but it's been working out so far for Virtus.pro, so I can understand why they stick to it.
Cadian waiting for the gap. James waiting for Snappy to overstep his position. You can certainly see the utility thrown toward where Kickert now plays. Where did those shots come from? Did Snappy fire those in? I suppose he must have. He's down to 21 and his Meg, so suggesting he had. Just taps the plant smart. He read the nades this time. That's what caught them out last time, and Adren knew he had the smoke to work with. So he baits the nade and goes back for the plant. He's already adapted to the setup, but he will go down on the retreat. Bomb at default, though, gives a much better chance to Virtus.pro, and they have the mid wall still to hold. James still holding out to try and catch anyone getting aggressive toward the red box, but no one so far has given him that opportunity. Sanji finds the first. They'll certainly put all their eggs in one basket to clear that position. But watch, because we've got a flank. You can see it when they snap to the left, Sanji. He spotted the fact that his teammate's coming in from the back line. Kirker's just trying to keep the aggro over toward him to give that more time and opportunity, but he's gone. He's the last alive, and there's enough time, Snappy, to get the defuse. It's going to be tight. Bomb's going to actually detonate. He didn't get there in time, and now Virtus.pro are 3 from the end of this series.
Oh dear, that was so close. And as you said, you pointed it out, the detail of this round. Adrian jumping in towards the bomb side, clicking the bomb once, and then instantly getting away again because he knew that double nade was a possibility from Heroic. Again, that strat is nice, but when you've done it once, it's somewhat easy to read, and that's exactly what Virtus.pro did right here. That's some high-level Counter-Strike we're getting to witness now. Both of these teams are stepping it up now, forcing each other to play better, and I like that. And as I said before, the money is not in a good spot for neither of these teams. And there we go, Katie, and that's such an important peek on towards James. Pushes in for a second one as well. So did Snappy. He got punished though, but look at this aggression coming in from Heroic. They're just not sitting back and waiting to lose the game. If they want to lose, they want to do it on their own terms, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Buster with a nice peek on towards Borup. He's really been struggling on this B bomb side. That has been the weak point for Heroic throughout this CT side, and now a 3 versus 3 retake will have to happen. Kicker is down to only 22 HP.
Oh, it's down. That's so aggressive.
Yeah. Well, Katie made up for that. And now 2 versus 3. It's going to be tough to hold on to.
Trying to slide back out from catwalk position, just trying to get information to make sure they haven't entered the site. He could absolutely hold the passive angle and make sure they don't go around. Oh, did he hear us take it on this? I don't know if he did. He tried to peek it, but I don't know if they have time. If they put one player to peek it and no other response, Heroic's able to win it out convincingly in a 3-on-2 retake.
It was all about Katie and getting that first pick towards James. S-Attack followed up. The aggression came in from Heroic. They wanted to approach it proactively. They didn't want to sit around and just wait for Virtus.pro to play their slow default this time. They took it to them, and it worked out perfectly fine. Katie with I believe there was 4 kills in that round. Having 19 in total now, stepping it up a bit. Haven't seen much from the Danish AWP player, and as I said before as well, the economy is not good. Virtus.pro, they're forced to just buy a few deagles right here and save. Even the next round shouldn't be that good either, so this game is going back and forth all the time.
Stalin takes out James early on. But with just pistols, it does seem likely that we'd find ourselves at 13-12. If that's the case, I'll remind you, as has been the case in the top right corner, the train is our last map.
Sure is. Virtus.pro, they're 3 rounds away from making sure it's not going to train, whereas for Heroic, they'd like an additional 5 to their 11 to extend this match for another map. This round looks good for Heroic. Just fighting a few pistols and an MP9, but that can be dangerous as well. Adrian get that kill towards S-Attack, and now lost control over the bomb side. The bomb will go down. Starman gambling a lot here, walking with the SG, getting the first kill and the second one as well. That's beautiful by the youngster. Kicker staying alive though. 1 versus 2, not able to connect towards Cadian. Round goes in the favor of Heroic. For a moment there, I thought that could be Virtus.pro stealing away another round, but wasn't meant to be. Youngest player on the server, I believe. Starman only 17 years old. Kept his cool, got a nice double kill, and put another round on the board for Heroic. 13-12. If you had to bet your money right now, Matt.
Well, I've got this weird feeling that I can see Heroic coming back on this.
Yeah.
I do. I keep in mind the bomb has been planted every single round so far in the second half, which I'm gonna throw a stab in the dark and actually we'll call it a bet. I would bet that in those halves, T's usually come out victorious on the scoreboard because getting the bomb down that many times, surely you'd have to start winning some rounds.
100% agree with you.
So we'll see if Virtus.pro can make that true or not, because right now I'm not overly convinced. Especially, I guess, the recent trend. 4 of the last 5 have been diffuse wins.
It's a crazy stat line, isn't it, that the bomb has been planted in every single round in the second half. I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe a few times, but...
I'm sure it's happened, but yeah, it's not something you can pull off the top of your head that easily. It's not exactly common. Buster. He'll get Katie in, but he's taken down by Stalin immediately after, who sat inside of the window. He's been playing the mid-window position quite commonly. Quite often. Hashtag with the passive hold. A lot more passive today from the CT sides on this A side. Normally we're seeing teams get aggressive towards scaffolding, trying to take the fight to the ramp. It's not the case. And I suppose you could argue two things. One is that it works because the retakes are working, but also that's why the bombs are going down, because they're almost conceding the bomb plant and then playing the odds and getting back into the site. So it's somewhat by design, and that'll be the case again now as Adren tries to bait out the nades once more. He's certainly got that figured out, hasn't he?
It's good stuff. A nice smoke coming in from James as well. We haven't seen him have impact at all in this second half, I feel. Now would be the time if you're a Virtus.pro fan.
But this is another case of rinse and repeat. Because you've got the wall covered again, 2 on the ramp. Kicker this time holding off toward the boards, but CTs again. The retakes have just been too strong. James gone. I think you've got to add a flank into it. I think you've got to do something different or get aggressive. Get in towards CT spawn, because the smokes are not holding off Heroic. They are absolutely conceding these plants and destroying the retake.
That was weird. I felt it was going the way of Virtus.pro. They got the first kill on towards Stamen as well, and from that point onwards, they just lost every single duel. I agree with you, though. We have seen this round transpire more than once, and a flank in this position, right, would probably have won them the round, as you said. And they can allow that, because it's not like James is doing anything with the AWP just standing back. He's just getting smoked off and basically left in a position where he can't do anything. I'd even say at this point, you should consider just not buying up the AWP and just let him play with the AK-47. He'd be able to do much more, and who knows, you know, if you like Counter-Strike and if you know how to adapt in the middle of a game, then make James the flanker. That's the least thing you'll ever gonna expect with an AK-47. So
yeah, I guess the other problem is that if they read the AWP is not in position, they might suspect something. But I think they've certainly had a player anchoring toward ramp every single round that hasn't had a role, because they haven't been putting a rotation that direction. So take advantage of it. Take back the map. I think any flank in that situation would yield at least 2 kills, and that may have been the difference in a few of these rounds. This time we will see CT aggression toward the ramp, and make no mistake about it, Heroic is going to take a 14-13 lead as James finds himself in a 1-on-5.
Starting to see more and more likely that Train will be the deciding map of this series. Virtus.pro won Overpass 16-8. That was after winning what I believe was 12 rounds in a row or something to finish off that game. Now we see them trail 14-13. They will have money now to buy up, but as you said, the bomb has been planted in every single round. Apart from this one, that was the first time we didn't get to see that. That was too easy for Heroic. And what do you do if you're Virtus.pro? You get the bomb plants, you get yourself into what I would say favorable positions, but you can't close out the rounds. So do you keep playing that game, or do you try something else?
Well, they're considered the aggression again, and they've got Katie up toward scaffolding. Oh, he spotted. Kicker wasn't ready. He was actually looking to get utility out instead, so I'm not sure who spotted the other first. Kicker seems to have the advantage, but doesn't want to go for the wall shot. AWP on the other side, what a kill that would be. But more and more, we're seeing this aggression from the CTs. Kickert's going to just go for it. Sees nades, finds utility. First kill and knows there was one to the right. Waits for the repeat. Smart adaptation to find all three.
Dear.
Even with losing Sanji, the hat trick makes all the difference, and Virtus.pro might finally have a round to work with.
That was beautiful by Kickert. His awareness in that position was so good. Starman almost caught off guard here in middle, but at least now they know where he is. Adrian has to stay alive for as long as absolutely possible. Bob goes down to Buster, and that should be round over. Starman down to 12 HP. Nice kill here towards Adrian, but that's it. That was so good by Kickert. So... and he also gets to finish it off with a 4th kill of the round. His 27th, if I'm not mistaken. What a strong half he's had so far. 92 ADR. Is it 82? Need my glasses to see that. Anyway, it's been a strong half for Kickert. It's been a strong game for him so far. That awareness right there. Waiting for Cadian and then also getting to kill Snappy straight after. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful. 14-14 and the money. It's not necessarily a problem for Heroic, but if they do decide to buy up in this round, they will have 2 players who will have a little bit of a lackluster buy. They're putting all the money in this run.
Yeah, this is playing for the win. And
I like that though.
You can definitely respect it because you play for the win, you play for map 3, you play for overtime, you're giving yourself a very, very stressful last round. So Cadian with an AWP this time. Looks like he's going to, well, I say this time, he's done it the last 2 rounds, but get aggressive toward the front side of the ramp rather than over toward the scaffolding. He hasn't gone straight for the peak. He doesn't quite have enough support here, in fact, to do so. He's by his lonesome, and he's caught off by Kickert again. Finally, he takes matters into his own hands. And it was 2 players aggressive on the B site, which is why Cadian was holding ultimately alone. They didn't have anyone else to support him because of the passive positions that we've seen them take towards CT.
Yeah, it's looking dire now for Heroic. They got 3 FAMASs and they're going up against 4 SGs and an AWP. You do the math yourself, you think it's not duels they're gonna win. Jane though pushing up here with the AWP. I'm not sure why that is. It's a little bit risky. Gets away with it though, and Snappy falls back, and once again it seems like Heroic, they're just gambling, putting 2 guys towards the B bomb side, and if they are going out towards this A bomb side, which seems to be the case, then a retake must happen. Snappy putting a Molotov towards the bomb side, denying the bomb plant for the next 7 or 8 seconds, but
does so off the stud.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
It's the pre-fire that was going in toward that heaven position as well, so he was smart to take a step back when he did. But what's the difference going to be? Because even though they have the man advantage, these retakes have been solid. Oh, nade, and this time they know exactly where Dren is. He'll just cop the nade and get it planted and keep 5 alive. Have they gone for the flank? I think they have. Yeah, they have. Buster's going to be the change. This is exactly what they've needed because the CTs have been so comfortable sitting inside a spawn on these retakes. They have not had to deal with any additional pressure. James already gone down. Sanji, he waits with the Krieg. First shot in, and the 3 players have committed. Buster's going to be on their heels soon, but he's got to speed things up. Or does he? There he is. Perfectly in position. All 3 down. Exactly what we said they needed to do on those retakes, and it works flawlessly.
Yeah, that was good stuff by Virtus.pro. They played that round perfectly fine. I said before that I've been a bit disappointed with today's Counter-Strike. It hasn't been on a high level, but I will say that the past 10 rounds has been good. Both teams have played up. Both teams have stepped up to the occasion, and both teams are right now pressuring each other to play some good Counter-Strike. As you said, the adaptation coming out from Virtus.pro right here, putting a man on the flank after getting the first kill from Kickert once again towards this A-bomb side. It was beautiful done, and this man right here, definitely the MVP of this T side, single-handedly making it super tough for Heroic. And look at the confidence he's displaying right now. He's going for it. 20 seconds into the round, he's up all the way towards the A-bomb side. He can catch off a guy. He spots him over there. There we go. It's going to be an easy kill.
Could be the series, that single flank from Buster. No guns remaining, and now they're getting more aggressive. Now they're not letting the CTs have position, and Dren will take down Snappy. He found 2 kills on that Deagle quite quickly, it has to be said, before He did find the floor, but Borup in a 1-on-3. Should be how this series ends. Bomb planted for good measure. Couldn't quite catch the first shot to Adren. They now all know exactly where he is, and he'll have to speed things up. Smokes himself in. Nope, not quite. Thinks they're closer, and they are. Buster's ready. It's Virtus.pro that will go through 2-0. They'll hit the upper side of the bracket with OG. Ents sit at the bottom now. I was just watching Buster's reaction for a second, but sit at the bottom now with Heroic. James looking pretty calm, pretty cool. I'm glad to see the adaptation. Both teams trying different things. Heroic, obviously by design, conceded a lot of those bomb plants, started to get a little more aggressive on the ramp. But because of those bomb plants, they had to do something. We saw the picks over at B. Those were fine in the early game. Once they started hitting A, there was no response. Buster finally goes for the flank. They realized they had a man that was essentially free to do so, and he gets all the kills for it. So I think, yeah, did that a few rounds sooner, we might not have even gone that far in the game.
You got to give it up for Kickout as well.
Yep.
The last 3 rounds.
Yeah, aggressive on the ramp.
Aggressive towards ramp.
Yep.
2 rounds in a row, he pulls off a triple entry frag towards that bomb site. The third one was just an entry frag in one, but that's so vital. That's so important. So for him to play that well, that late in a game like this, it really shows character and it shows what he's made of as well. And that's some of the Virtus.pro flair that we need to see, right? Yep. We haven't seen it in some time. It's been lackluster ever since the major, but this game was definitely a sign of them getting back to what they were good at a certain point. James finding some impact as well. Not up there just yet, but it's getting better for Virtus.pro, and I think that's the sentiment of this game. Was for Heroic, to me, super disappointing.
Yeah, I think that they've got a lot to work on. There was certainly a few times Cadian peeking ramp by himself didn't really look like they had a full established plan at that point in time. Overpass had lots of holes, crossfires that didn't have angles covered off. I think the most exciting thing for them this game, retakes were great, but the Borup defuse will be remembered forever. For better or for worse. With that, we've got 2 best-of-3s done. We've got lots more coming up. We're going to go to a break before we hit reset for the rest of the day.